What is going on, guys? G-Harp here. Today, I just want to make a quick video to outline an issue that I think a lot of other people have been seeing with Halo Infinite in their servers. Now, in the past month or so, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less, there's this weird thing that happens in some games, seemingly dependent upon which server is selected, where some people in our party will get exaggerated ping. Now, if your internet is good, and it's not, it's a typical broadband, what you normally get. Generally speaking, the worst server you're going to get in the United States, no matter where you are, is, around the 100 ping mark. So, just as a for instance, I have Starlink internet. It's not great, but my ping rarely goes over that, even if I'm in Pennsylvania and I get a server on the West Coast. It's 90 to 100 ping in that general area. For Texas, if we get the server in Texas, it's around 70 ping. So just to give you an idea of what the worst case, maybe not worst case, but not a great case scenario for internet is like ping wise. But there's this weird thing that is happening seemingly when we get the East Coast server that is affecting people throughout the country, it appears. Now, from what I can tell and what anecdotal evidence we've had, if your main server is the East Coast server, so if you are closest, you're picking closest to that server, it doesn't appear that there's too much of an issue. But if you're away from it and it's not your main server, there seems to be either a routing problem or an ISP problem that's affecting things. Maybe it's not any of that. Could be completely something different on Infinite's side or Microsoft's side, because I'm sure they're using Azure for their infrastructure there to play Infinite on. So maybe an Azure issue or something like that. But it's making it weirdly so that if you normally would be pinging maybe 50 ping to a server that's a little bit far away from you, so if you're on the East Coast, you're not, maybe you're in Alabama or North Carolina or South Carolina, Georgia, something like that, you may be pinging like 40 to 50 to the East Coast server, something that seems to be rather appropriate depending upon what your ISP is and how fast your internet is. But these spikes seem to be occurring where it'll just randomly go to high 100s into the 200s, and there doesn't appear to be any rhyme or reason other than which server we get. And just for me as a Starlink user, I haven't seen too many of these, so that's why it kind of seems like an ISP issue, but very, very weird. Even people with absurdly good internet are getting this problem too. Formal on stream the other day had this happen where he was pinging, above 200 or 250 ping, which for him on fiber in Texas is crazy. That makes no sense whatsoever. So there seems to be something going on with the way servers are interacting and pinging and your ISPs, how they're hitting the servers. There seems to be some weirdness going on there that I think Halo Studio really needs to look into. It's really demotivating obviously for pros, that's how they make their livelihood, but it's also demotivating for anybody else who's playing, where you get into a game and you see your ping at 180, you don't want to play. This is going to be a nightmare, things aren't going to work well, it's going to feel like trash. And if you're in the especially the United States, but anywhere kind of on the Western hemisphere, your ping should be relatively okay. Now, that's not to say anything about people from Australia who love Halo. Their ping is generally not so great, obviously for obvious reasons for where they're at. But for people in the United States, you would think that it should be relatively stable. And given a lot of people have really good internet now, this really doesn't make any sense. So hopefully Halo Studios can look into this. It's very, very frustrating and, makes you not even really want to play if you're going to get bad servers the entire time. So hopefully look into this problem. Seems to have started a couple weeks ago or around the last update, and appears to be maybe tied to the East Coast server. Just some guesses just based off anecdotal, but please look into this, Halo Studios and 343. Let me know in the comments if you guys are seeing this too. I'm assuming it's more widespread than what we've just been seeing here, but let me know in the comments. Hopefully this can raise a little bit of awareness. We'll catch you in the next one.